All right, today we'll be doing a brief breakdown of the New Orleans Saints as we head towards the final stretch of the 2025 NFL regular season. We'll be talking about the moves and transactions the franchise has made, general thoughts about the season, and also just the current state of the team. So the Saints made two noteworthy moves at the NFL trade deadline a little over a week ago, trading away wide receiver Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks for a 4th and 5th round pick in the upcoming draft, and then also trading away guard Trevor Penning for a 6th round pick in the 2027 NFL draft. Now the thing is, both of these guys were in the 4th year of their deal, and they were due for a big payday this coming offseason. All in all, trading away Rashid Shaheed certainly makes the team at least slightly less competitive, just considering the fact that he's such a productive player, threatens the defense, and really creates explosive plays. But I think this was for the betterment of the Saints' future and the long term of the organization as a whole. As far as Trevor Penning goes, his tenure was simply just a disappointment, and it felt like time to move on. So as we move over to the general thoughts about the season, there's no getting around the fact that the team is 2-8 and they have the second worst point differential in the NFL at this point in the season. There's been untimely mistakes in close games, inconsistencies on both sides of the ball, and really just not being able to play collectively in the most important points of the season. So from a results-oriented standpoint, obviously hasn't been great, but if you were to try to find a quote-unquote silver lining or positive perspective or outlook for the rest of the season for the Saints, this is what it would sound like or look like. So first of all, nearly all of the young players on the roster, barring injury, have been able to get out there, play, and gain a ton of experience. I mean, it goes without saying, obviously, the last first-round picks for the Saints between offensive tackle Talise Fuaga and offensive tackle Kelvin Banks, they're first rounders. They're going to play regardless, especially since for the Saints it was a position of need. But what about these rookies like linebacker Danny Stutzman, cornerback Quincy Riley, and safety Jonas Sanker, not only playing but impacting the game in a positive way? And then the other thing you got to think about, for a first-year head coach, Kellen Moore, I think he's done about as good of a job as you could ask of him, considering the circumstances. Through 10 games, 6 different starting offensive line combinations. I think the team has improved throughout the season, especially from an operations standpoint, from down to down. And then simply just playing faster, playing with more conviction. You see the confidence as the season wanes, not reflected in the record, but certainly in the eye test. And then if you're talking about the quarterbacks, Kellen Moore's position during his playing days, if you combine Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck's completion percentage, the two starting quarterbacks so far for the Saints this season, it's well above league average at 66%, and I would imagine that Kellen Moore has a hand in that. So that ties into the last piece of the conversation, being the state of the team. During training camp, before the season starts, you hear nearly all of the teams, if not all of the teams in the NFL, players and coaches heaping praise on each other and even using cliches at time about how they've never felt better. They're very excited for the season. That was true for the Saints as well, but the thing that's different about this team is, you're hearing that in mid-November after the team lost 8 of its 9 first games of the season. So I think it's a testament to the new regime, the direction of the organization. As far as results go, hasn't been there this season. As far as where the franchise is headed, that's a different conversation.